All right, everybody, welcome back to more Twin Wrestle Pod. And today we're gonna make it brief and simple. We're gonna discuss Monday Night Raw, mainly the promo cut by one Seth Rollins there, as you see on the screen here. If you enjoy these videos, make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe down below. Let's get into it, man. So, The Rock verbally destroyed both Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins last Friday. And as of today's recording, we are scheduled to get The Rock back on SmackDown. More likely with Roman Reigns as well. And I like the back and forth, the little subtle hints of tension going back and forth between Rock and Roman. More or less on Roman's side, just because of Rock's presence and The Rock being the bigger star. But that's another video for another day. Like I said, we're gonna get back to the point. Rock cut a 21-minute promo before SmackDown on Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes respectively. Now, we get to Monday Night Raw. Cody responded, but the response we're going to focus on for this video is Seth Rollins' response. Man, don't mind the picture. It's just something I whipped up with a clown nose because The Rock calls him a walking clown emoji. He looked like a clown during this damn segment. So, little bitty points that Seth Rollins decided to point out in his segment on Raw, responding to The Rock. He said The Rock hasn't been cool for 20 years now, which is a blatant lie, but it's Seth Rollins. And this is what he does. But the line of the promo was him. He came up, he was thinking about this line, this response to call The Rock for a week. This was the best he was able to come up with. He called The Rock Diarrhea Dwayne. Now, Seth, you telling me during the course of the week, this is what you thought of what you can call The Rock as Diarrhea Dwayne? I know Seth didn't come up with that, but who wrote that shit? Just, man, it's terrible. And this is Seth Rollins' words when referencing The Rock and why he came up with his name. He called him Diarrhea Dwayne because every single thing that The Rock says that comes out of his mouth has the consistency of wet baby poop. Wet baby poop. My personal opinion, this whole Seth Rollins came out of this promo, he looked very fucking corny to me personally. And I know a lot of people stick online is that The Rock's material, he needs some new material, he needs this, he needs that. It's the same old shtick. But what legend don't use the same old shtick every time they come back? Austin used his same Austin 316 shtick. Hogan uses his shtick every time he comes around. And the current wrestlers are using their shtick today. You can't go nowhere without hearing Rhea Ripley, Mommy's on top, or Becky Lynch, the man is coming around, or Seth freaking Rollins, not a visionary, not a revolutionary, or whatever he calls himself, and then Seth freaking Rollins. You can't go nowhere without them hearing they stick. So, what made The Rock any different? His stick proved he got over for 20 years. So, I know a lot of people complain there, but come on, dog, it's The Rock. But this promo, Seth, he gotta come up with some better shit come tonight on SmackDown. Or Rock will verbally destroy him if he come with the same shtick he just pulled Monday, because that promo made him look corny as fuck. That's some shit you would see in the PG era, Diarrhea Dwayne, just to get people to laugh and shit. And he got the crowd to chant Diarrhea though. Yeah. But also, the key point in this promo, he announced that he was 100% medically cleared to compete in the ring again, which is a good thing. And he said that he'll be on SmackDown tonight. He and Cody will confront the Bloodline. So we're gonna get our first face-to-face meeting with Roman, Rock, Bloodline, Seth Rollins, and Cody Rhodes since the Las Vegas press conference. So we should be in for a good show tonight. But WWE write some better material because this made your World Heavyweight Champion come off very fucking corny. Another thing in his promo, he says that Rock said he can have the championship right off of Seth Rollins if he wanted to, just like that, a snap of a finger, which is Rock is correct. He can. He's the head guy on the board at TKO, so he's Seth Rollins' boss, as Rock put it in the promo last week. And I think this will come into a factor coming towards WrestleMania. I don't think Seth is walking out of WrestleMania with that World Heavyweight Championship. I don't even think Drew is walking out of WrestleMania with that World Heavyweight Championship. I think Damian Priest will walk out of WrestleMania with their World Heavyweight Championship. Just based on everything we know in terms of the story, Drew has his issue with Seth, leading Drew to beat Seth, and Drew has lost, 3 or 4 straight matches to Seth for that very World Heavyweight Championship. And then we don't forget, we still have the story between Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre going all the way back to Survivor Series. They was building a War Games matchup. If you remember, them two were going back and forth for who was going to be the leader of that team. And Drew said Damian Priest can have it. So their issue has never been resolved. So make sure to look into that, and that will be probably a key for what happens at WrestleMania. At least that's my thoughts. But man, this promo segment was not great. And I got Seth Rollins as a clown, like I said earlier, because he came off as a clown. He needed that red nose on front of his face there, because he was a walking clown emoji, as The Rock called him. A walking clown show on Monday Night Raw. That promo was not good. But let's look at some other notes on Monday Night Raw. Gunther defeated Dom, but you seen that coming. Andrade had his debut against Apollo Crews, and man, poor Apollo Crews. He ain't been on no show since fucking July. He's probably been regulated to main event duty, but they should have kept us as an NXT, bro. I said that back when the draft thing happened. We had Becky versus Nia, and Liv Morgan interfered, causing Nia Jax to win the match. So that's going to lead to Becky versus Liv next week on Raw. Then we got the $1 million announcement with contention of the IC strap, who's going to face Gunther at WrestleMania. So Adam Pearce announced there would be a 6-man gauntlet. He was keen on 6 guys to compete in this gauntlet. He picked the former IC champ Ricochet, who was the last person who lost to Gunther, so I guess that's why he's in there. But originally I had a problem with that because we ain't seen Ricochet since after his feud with Logan Paul, for real. That's why I was surprised when he's in the Rumble. I'm like, we ain't seen Ricochet in so fucking long. So that's why I had an issue with that. If anybody I would have put in there, I would probably put Ivar in there, because Ivar had been on such a roll. But they decided to go with Ricochet because he's the last guy Gunther beat to get the championship. He also announced Sami Zayn and Shinsuke Nakamura. All 3 of those guys are former Intercontinental champions. He also named 3 new guys, that being Bronson Reed, JD McDonough, and Chad Gable, those 3 have never held the IC championship in WWE. And the 6-man gauntlet match is set to take place next week on Raw. And it's only 1 or 2 choices, really. It's either up to Sami Zayn, since they've been building this story since after the Rumble of Sami becoming a champ, and Chad Gable. Like, as you guys know, I'm a big proponent of Chad Gable finishing his story, since we in the theme of this year's WrestleMania is finishing your story. I think Chad Gable should finish his story at WrestleMania by defeating Gunther. I'm liking the whole new serious persona that Chad Gable is coming out with. His video that he put out on social media a couple days ago, very outstanding. And doing the 6-man gauntlet, man, I think Chad Gable should run the table and win, and be the guy to face Gunther and beat Gunther at WrestleMania for the IC strap. That don't mean I don't want to see Sami Zayn in there like a little less, but I don't know. I wouldn't mind either Sami or Chad Gable, but I want Chad Gable to win just for storyline purposes. You got to get back to the story that they left off in September. So I would pick Chad Gable in that instance. And we have the induction of Paul Heyman into the WWE Hall of Fame. which is a no-brainer. WrestleMania is in Philadelphia, the birthplace of ECW, which Paul E. dangerously ran, you know, back in the day, and was a monumental part in pro wrestling. So, well deserved, overdue, but Philadelphia is the right time for it. And two people I can see inducting him, maybe they do it together, is Bully Ray and Tommy Dreamer. They both were back in the day booking with Paul Heyman and ECW. So that'd be interesting to see what Paul Heyman has as his inductee. The final thing I'm gonna leave off with, man, is the Jey Uso versus Drew McIntyre match that main evented the show, and we got the same type of finish we got with Gunther and Jey Uso from a couple weeks ago, with Jimmy interfering and costing Jey the match. And he did the same here by distracting Jey and Drew McIntyre hitting with a Claymore to pick up the win. So yeah, that's Monday Night Raw in a nutshell. We need better material for SmackDown tonight. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited to see where we go. But that's Monday Night Raw, man. That's all I got. I'll see you guys in more videos later down the line. Y'all take it easy, bro.